Hello and welcome. I'm going to talk about the International Booker Prize shortlist. I'm really excited to see this. I do not follow this prize as closely as I do some other prizes. I read two from the shortlist of last year, but I read them way after it had already been announced. I read Time Shelter, which was the winner, which I thought was really excellent. It dragged on a little bit longer than I wanted to, but it was really enjoyable to read and see all of the ways that had connection and stuff. And then I also read Stillborn, which was really interesting and I didn't absolutely love, but it definitely made me think about a lot of things. This year does not have books that I am like overjoyed and gunning for. It's more of a European centric prize list, which is not my favorite, but I am interested to see in which books are shortlisted, if I will pick up any of them. I think that I got a little bit of a spoiler that the Mater one made it because sometimes my Google alerts pop up books and I'm like, this is not what I want to see. So I'm really excited to look at the announcement video, to react to it, to talk about what books I'm interested in reading. Am I happy? Am I sad? They are not talking. We're just getting a cool little this. Okay, so we got Not a River by Selva Almeida, translated by Annie McDermott. A deceptively simple novel about a seemingly bucolic fishing trip in Argentina, which slowly reveals a deep sense of foreboding and memories of trauma. This is a book that I have been somewhat interested in reading. I am more interested in reading the Latin American books in general. This book has just a wonderful, I love the title, Not a River, and yeah, so I could be convinced if my library had it to read this one. Paris by Jenny Erpenbeck, translated by Michael Hoffman. A richly textured evocation of a tormented love affair in the dying years of East Germany, which demonstrates how the weight of history impinges on our lives. This is a book that I've been interested in since I saw it on the New York Notable list. I will leave that linked below. I talked about them. Some of the books I detested at the time and have now read. So it's very interesting when I first hear about a book versus kind of the slow evolution of how I can be persuaded to read a book. And this one deals with an affair, which is something that I feel weird attachment to. I really love exploring how social indiscretions and stuff like that can really show interesting aspects of relationships. And I'm not pro-adultery, but I definitely find it interesting to investigate it. This is on a train on the dying years of East Germany. Is just really poetic. I know that I have the ebook from my library and I've been flirting with the idea of reading it. So I will probably read a few pages, see if I like it, and if I like it enough to continue, I will read it. The Details by I. Jinberg, translated by Kira Josephson, a delicately written Swedish novel that speaks to our contemporary experience of connection and isolation, and which shows how quickly people move in and out of our lives. That does seem really appealing. I really like this cover. I find it very interesting. I know that I have the ebook as well. I'm not a big ebook reader. I'm much more of an audiobook reader, or I do like my physical books as well. But yes, I might start this as well, but I don't know. This is definitely, I love the idea of it, but it doesn't completely capture me. You know what I mean? So if you love any of these books and you want to give a case in the comments, I would love to hear that. Mater 2010 is a book that I saw. I'm very dyslexic and bad at pronouncing things in my best days, but we're going to try this. Hwan Sok-yeon, translated by Sora Kim Rushell and Yeonjae Josephine Bae. A passionate novel of Korean resilience, which depicts the miracles of determination and survival of an entire culture through its most despairing and hopeful times. This one, that blurb does make me find it appealing. I feel like I've heard other description of it that have made it less appealing to me, but also you can tell it is a thick boy. And especially without an audiobook, I'm probably not going to read an ebook this big, and I also don't think my library has it. We have What I'd Rather Not Think About. This is a book that I forgot was listed, by Yente Pashuma, translated by Sarah Timmer Harvey. A moving portrait of intertwining lives of Dutch twins, grappling with the complexities of identity, loss, and the unspoken bonds that define us. That does kind of appeal to me. I don't think my library has it, but yeah, this is a good list. Sometimes I'm the long list can be overwhelming, but even books that I'm not completely gung-ho for, if I hear it on a short list, I'm yeah, this is much more capable. I don't think this is a book that I would rush out to see, but if I had access to it, I would definitely flirt with the idea of reading it. This is a book that I have wanted to read from the beginning because that cover is just gorgeous. It also looks so much like an anime or just kind of those soft cat graphic novels. It's very funny to me. Crooked Prow by Itamar Vieira Jr., translated by Johnny Lorenz. An evocative journey into the heart of rural Brazil, which highlights the importance of remembering our histories and protecting the land that sustains us. That description makes me happy. And I think this is the final book. Yeah, I really like this short list. I love that it is only half European, unlike the long list. And yeah, I think that if I was to read anything, I don't know. I think Kairos is appealing to me because of the fact that I've known about it the longest. So it's like kind of like, you know, being in my head. And I think that sometimes that's more appealing. But I think based on details, like the details feels interesting. I didn't even mean to do that, but I do love the way that people like come in and out of our lives. I love looking at history throughout time. So I think that Matter 210 and Crooked Prow are both books that are appealing to me in essence. Like I love looking at culture and kind of investigating that. Not a River, I don't know enough about it. None of these books like overwhelmingly appeal to me, so I think it would be like if I have access to these books in the future, I would consider reading them. I would love to hear your thoughts. Are any of these books really calling to you? Are there any books that you were devastated are not on this shortlist? If you like book prizes, I also filmed a Carol Shields shortlist reaction because they came out the same day. So yes, that is another prize that deserves many the love, and I will definitely read the majority of those books shortlisted, unlike what I will do here. So yes, I would love to hear your thoughts, and I will see you next time.